Welcome to Miller's Monsters. I'm Mr. Beelzebub. This is Count Luna, and behind me is Edgar P. the Scully. And, man, she's almost downed it. Luckily, this is her dinner, so kind of a twofer. And I'm going to talk about Renfield. Finally, I got to see Renfield, and it's out on Peacock. So that person I told it was on Paramount Plus, sorry. They both begin with a P, so my bad. So I watched it today on Peacock, and I like this movie. I know it hasn't done well on the rating sites, about 50-50, and but let me tell you, I like this movie. Okay, and I'll tell you why in a minute. And there's some flaws in this movie. Okay, so a quick synopsis. Renfield, if you don't know who Renfield is, he's Dracula's familiar or servant, and he takes care of Dracula's needs when he's in the coffin. Okay, this is through all the books, so this isn't a spoiler here. And he lives on insects. And in this version of Renfield, if he eats insects, he gets part of Dracula's powers. That's the gift Dracula has given him for making sure nobody opens the coffin in the daylight. And Renfield also has to bring him food. And when they move, of course, he moves them. And when he gets hurt, he has to nurse them back to life. So, unfortunately, Renfield has pretty much had enough, and he wants to free himself from Dracula's grasp and live his own life. And this is a story about him breaking that bond and the aftermath of that, which I won't go into. Also, in this, it's the story of a police officer, okay? And she is, what can I say, and not spoil it, she is trying to put the mob, okay, to arrest the mob. All right, and that's all I'll say about that. Thank you, Luna. Yes, you may have another. Okay. And so, before I go on, take a moment, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, hit the like button, set yourself up for notifications so you don't miss another episode of me stuttering and Luna eating treats. Excuse me, Luna, I need the page down. And tell your friends to like, watch, and subscribe as well. And as always, I thank you in advance. Alright, we're back. I ran out of taping time. I had to delete stuff. So I got 12 minutes to wrap this up. I hate it when that happens. That ever happened to you? It sucks. And I'm rambling on. I got 12 minutes. Anyways, what were we talking about? Renfield. Edgar, next time, do your job. I blame Edgar for this. Anyways, Luna, thank you. Renfield is a horror comedy, and I thought it did well on both ends of that spectrum. We'll get to that in a minute. I want to talk about the acting real quick. Nicholas Hoult, Renfield, I thought he did an excellent job. I liked his acting throughout the movie. He has some comic chops there. And Nicolas Cage, oh my God. I love Nicolas Cage as Dracula. I want more Dracula. I could watch a whole movie with just Nicolas Cage running around as Dracula. Oh my goodness. He took this role because he always wanted to play Dracula, and he nailed it. Let me tell you. He brought comedy to the role. He was spooky. He paid homage, especially in the first part of the film, to the original Dracula, Bela Lugosi. And yeah, like I said, I could have watched him and Nicholas Hoult all day. Now, for the other acting, Awkwafina, so-so. Okay? She was the counter to Nicholas Hoult. They got interested in each other. That's all I'll say about that. Don't want to spoil anything, but and then everybody else in the cast was okay. Now, to the movie itself. The gore in this movie is fantastic. There's enough gore in this to keep any gore horror person interested. I thought it was done well. Obviously, some of it was CGI. I thought it was done well enough to where I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to get on my soapbox and say, "Oh, geez, CGI, blood, blah, blah, blah." No, I love the effects in this. I love the amount of gore in this. I wish I could talk about it more, but that would be giving too much of the movie away. And the comedy in this was really good. Everything, as far as the gore and the comedy, was spaced out. Of course, some of the gore related to some of the comic parts of the film. I think Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult did a good job with the comedy. Awkwafina was more of a straight person in this film. So the acting, I'll give it above average, or average, but above average because of Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult. This movie lacks in story, okay, and I think this is where most people lost interest in it. The story, is okay. It just it was good enough, okay, with all the action sequences and all that up to the end, okay. The end left me feeling a bit flat. That's pretty hard to do, round, but not flat. But no, the ending I thought was rushed, wasn't well thought out, and it was just a way to end the film, and that's sad because it kind of dropped the ball there, and I think that's why it got 50-50 on all the rating sites. I score it much higher than that, even though I didn't like the ending. So the movie cost $65 million to make. I've told you about this. It's made about $26 million worldwide, so it's considered a flop. And unfortunately, we're not going to get any more of Nicolas Cage as Dracula because this one didn't make money. There's a lot of reasons. One is the budget. Okay, you cannot come, and I've said this, quote, you cannot overcome a $65 million budget in the horror genre. Sweet spot 10 to 15. Okay, you just can't do it. And I don't know why they thought this would have to make like 200 million to be successful. All right, but it's a shame because we're not going to get any more Nicolas Cage as the vampire. And another thing on the ending, it did leave room for a sequel, but I'll tell you right now that ain't gonna happen. So that's my thoughts on Renfield. I do give it a 3 out of 5. It's worth a watch, especially now it's on Peacock. If you have Peacock, it's free. Yay. If you don't have Peacock, sign up, watch it, and then, cancel it. And you can see it. So I hope you liked what you saw and heard, and please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, hit the like button, set yourself up for notifications. My farmer stand is showing, and please tell your friends to like, subscribe, watch as well. That's it for today, and I will talk to you later.